Hi, welcome to Oneighty. Check this out. That video is an absolute masterpiece. Truly the best video on the internet. Well, not including this one, but you know, obviously. Welcome to Oneighty. I know things are a little bit different. You're in your room, I'm in a room, but this is Oneighty live. And if you are watching this live, immediately after this video at 7:30, we're all gonna be hopping on Zoom and I'm gonna have some prizes to give out. So be looking for the Zoom code somewhere on this screen, write it down, it'll be at the end of the video as well, and you can hop on and you can win some cash prizes just by playing some games that you already enjoy. So before we get too far into it, I want to send things over to my friend Jeff McLean. He's got a few things he wants to share with you and one really cool thing that we're going to give you a tour of. So without further ado, over to Jeff McLean.
My favorite Christmas dessert is Nanaimo squares. They are the best chocolate, vanilla, graham cracker with coconut in it. That's my favorite. So my New Year's Eve tradition is always trying to be with people. You always want to hang out with somebody that you know and do the countdown and then take confetti and it goes everywhere. And we usually go to Nova Scotia to hang out with some good friends down there and celebrate New Year's together. My favorite New Year's memory was last year, 2020, going into 2021, when we were taking the confetti popper and my daughter shoved it, missed Isaac and Ashley, and hit my wife, Lindsay, right in the face because they put a little cork to hold it all in. Didn't know. Anyways, Attack of the Confetti Popper. One of my all-time favorite Christmas movies is Home Alone. It is amazing. You have Kevin McAllister, and it says it all. That's one of my favorite Christmas movies. So my New Year's resolution came to me from my brother, who got me a Christmas gift, and my New Year's resolution was to complete this project. So, in light of Home Alone being one of my favorite Christmas movies, he got me the Home Alone Lego set. It is amazing. It took close to 20 hours to build. This is the guide on how to build. 474 pages of pure awesomeness, which is the battle plan. And I want to show you a few things to highlight the house. So not only does it come with Marv and Harry driving in their plumbing van, you know, the Wet Bandits. It comes with Kevin McAllister with a few different things from different hair and his outside attire on his sled. It comes with the grumpy old man that carries his garbage can, the mother that came home for Christmas, and two stories that you can actually look through. So let's take a sneak peek at what this all has to offer. We start with the attic. Opens up. You have where he wets the bed, his cousin up here with the drink right on the bedside table. Then you have on the back side the tree house where he zips down into the tree house away from the guys. On the back side, you have not only the kitchen and the basement where the fireplace is. That is scary. But the cool thing about this house is you can see inside of it. So you can take off the attic very easily. And you can see, you can also open the whole front of the house. And this highlights the first and second movie. So not only do you have Buzz's room and Buzz's girlfriend, woof, you have the staircase that the spider is on right here. You have the paint cans that can come down. You have the master bedroom in here, the bathroom where he puts on the aftershave. Then you have down in the main area, just amazing. So you can actually take all of this off like this, and you can open it up. And you can see the living room and the kitchen and the dining room. Just a lot of amazing things, and the staircase that he can come right outside the front door when he was sliding. And it actually works. mother stopped him. Typical. Not only that, but when he was trying to protect his house, you had, he set it up so that music was playing and the train had Michael Jordan going around, so that's all built there. The tree with 2 turtle doves from the second movie. He ate Kraft dinner in here. Just super, super cool design.
New Year's resolutions. Some of you have them, some of you don't. Some of you keep them, some of you don't. Some of you make them every year, some of you don't. And there's probably a few reasons for that. Maybe you've made a resolution and it fell through. It didn't work. It didn't pan out the way that you wanted it to. And there could be a few reasons for that. Maybe you didn't pick something that was achievable, something that you could actually do. Maybe you picked something that was so huge that it was intimidating that you just felt like you couldn't do it. Maybe you didn't prioritize it and put in the effort that it needed, and maybe you didn't go into it with a plan. Here's an example. So this year I decided that I wanted to learn a new skill. Didn't really know what it was, but I wanted to learn a new skill. So I got thinking, what can I work on? And my first thought was, oh, guitar. I can work on getting better at guitar. I decided to pick a different skill to work on. And I got thinking, okay, what can I work on? What new skill can I learn? And then I remembered about these things. Now, if you don't know what this is called a Rubik's Cube. There are 6 different sides of a Rubik's Cube, and on each side of the Rubik's Cube, there are 9 cubes. And there being 6 sides, there are also 6 colors. Now the cube can move in almost every single direction, and the goal is to orientate the littler cubes on the big cube so all the correct colors are on the correct side. It sounds easy, right? Just put the colors where they're supposed to go. But it's not. And I've actually never been able to solve this incredible puzzle. And it really bothered me because other people can. In fact, there are competitions dedicated to people solving these as fast as they can. Just so you know, the fastest solve is under 5 seconds.
Come on, get it some fun.
I'm probably not gonna get less than 5 seconds. That was a world record he's worked really hard on. So let's just focus on solving it. So I started to look at videos and YouTube tutorials and read things and learn everything I could about this seemingly simple cube. And I learned a lot of different things, and one of the things I learned was there's 7 steps. So to solve a Rubik's Cube, you follow these 7 steps and you'll solve the cube. Easy, 7, less than 10. But then you learn that each step has a different algorithm. And some steps have multiple algorithms. And these algorithms can be 15 moves long. And you start learning, oh, I'm gonna have to memorize all of this and do all this in the right order. And if you do one step wrong, one move wrong in one algorithm, the whole cube is messed up and you have to start over. Even when you know the 7 steps, these aren't easy to solve. After I learned all that, I borrowed a cube. Caleb, you may know him, actually borrowed me this cube. He lent it to me. And he actually lent me some wisdom as well. I got my very first solve with Caleb's help. Now, I decided it didn't count because, well, Caleb, you remember, you did most of the work. But I wanted to solve this on my own. So I did the research, I learned about the steps, I borrowed the cube, and I got to work. I started practicing all the time, watching YouTube videos. I watched a YouTube video and wrote down all this, and actually, I started to solve it. I got my first solve on the 2nd day. After working, I got everything right, and I got my first solve. But I decided I wanted to go further than that because it took an hour. I wanted to get a solve as quick as I could, under 10 minutes. So I started to practice and practice more. And then I realized that I can't just practice, I need to memorize the different algorithms, and memorizing isn't easy for me. So this was very difficult. And eventually I started to solve it more and more. So I had completed my goal of solving a Rubik's Cube, and I had worked on making it better. This New Year's, or any time, or any random Thursday, who says it's gotta be January, When you decide to make a goal, that is a great thing. Goals are how we get better as people. Goals are how we get better as Christians. We always want to improve ourselves, right? And sometimes that's learning a new skill, sometimes that's improving a skill that you already have. There's nothing wrong with being better. But I want to show you 3 things that you can do to make sure that your goals happen. The first thing you can do is, just like I did, you can prioritize your goal. See, I really wanted to learn the Rubik's Cube, and so I made that a priority. And the way that I made it a priority is I practiced. Practiced and practiced and practiced and practiced. I put hours into practicing the moves and the algorithms and the steps, and that's how I learned, by prioritizing and then practicing. The next thing you can do is you can have a plan. See, if you just go in not really knowing what you're gonna do or how you're gonna do it, chances are you're gonna get lost and frustrated and give up. But if you have a plan and you know how you're gonna attack your goal, it gives you the best chance. See, I planned and did my research, and when I made my research and learned about the different steps, I made a plan to go after those steps one at a time. And the last thing you can do to complete any goal you have is by taking that big goal and breaking it down into smaller things. You know, for example, we might all have the goal to make the world a better place. That is awesome. The world needs to be a better place. But that's a lot for one person to change the world, and you can change the world. But how can you do that? You can take that overall goal and by breaking it down into smaller goals. See, I didn't just pick up the Rubik's Cube and solve it first go. No, I've told you 100 times now. There was different steps that I took. And by making those smaller goals, those smaller steps that I took, when I attacked those smaller things one at a time, all of those small successes led to a big success. So you can prioritize your goal, and by practicing and prioritizing, you can make a plan for your goal of what you're gonna do and how you're gonna do it. And lastly, you can take your goal and break it down into smaller goals, and by accomplishing all the smaller goals, you will accomplish your bigger goal. And if you do those 3 things, you can achieve